Hello, my lovely crafters. This is Crafty Sue 519, and I'm coming on today to show you the cards and ATCs I made in the Ugly Paper Challenge from Judy from my scrapbook loft. She really had us all intrigued on why we were sending in ugly paper in October, and we found out at the end of November what we had to do with it. And it was quite a challenge, but I have to say, I had a great time doing this. It really made me think and come out of my comfort box, so to speak. So, I'll show you each of those, but first, I really want to show you this card I got in the mail today. This is from my brother and my sister-in-law. And it's just a regular Christmas card. It says warmest thoughts and best wishes for a joyful holiday season. But it's got that famous red truckered Christmas tree on it, which is right in line with Crafty. My sister-in-law crochets, but she doesn't do paper crafts. And I just love this card. And then you open it up, and it's got a whole scene in there. Do you see that? This is awesome. I love this card. Love it. I just had to show you that because I just thought it was so cool. Okay, so the first person that I got ugly paper from was Gloria Smith. And these are the papers. This is one side and this is the other. So these are the ugly papers. Now I used this paper to make the ATC. And it's simple, but I think it's pretty. So I just put a glittered snowflake. This just says holidays, merry, happy on here. I did all the edging in gold embossing powder just to finish off the edges. And I put little tiny gold bling on the butterfly, on a snowflake. So I hope you can see the glitter on that. It's really kind of cute. So this fell right into line with Pastel Christmas. And on the back I used this paper, embossed all the edge and put my info. So that was the ATC. And the first card I made was using this paper. And here it is. It's perfect for a background. I cut out with a die I have. It says, "Have a holly jolly Christmas." Put some little presents under the tree. Outlined it in my red glitter strips. Put a strip of that paper on the inside with some little presents and a little bow, and put a sentiment wishing you the joy of the season. So I thought that came out kind of cute. And the last one, I used all of these papers, every one of them. And this is the card. So what I did was I cut strips, different widths of every one of these papers, and I stuck them to what do you call it? Stick-it paper, and I left a space in between each strip, and then I took silver glitter and put it all over and burnished it into these areas so you would have glitter in between. And it took all of these papers that are not Christmassy at all, and I think it made it Christmassy. Then I have this, tree, I put that on. It's a tag, so it had a hole here, so I just put some bling on it. Put a little Merry Christmas on the front. And on the inside, I put a strip of this paper and some little leaves and wishing you the joy of the season. So that's what I did with the paper I got from Gloria. Next one is from Diane Crafting with Fury. And these are the papers I got. I have less of this left. The papers that Gloria sent were larger than the 6x6 that we were supposed to send. So I had more of that to work with. Anyway, this is what I have left from Diane's. And this is one side and the other. And these are my ugly papers from Diane. Ugh. Diane, you gave me a challenge, I'll tell you. So, first thing, I gotta make sure I got the right ones here. These papers had different designs all over them. So what I show you may not necessarily be what you see here, because there was all different designs within the papers. So what I'm going to show you now, you're not even going to see here because I cut it out of the middle of the paper. But here's my ATC. This was in the middle of the paper, so I cut it out because it's red and Christmassy. Again, I embossed the edges in gold. And I like how they're uneven. I really like how the gold is different all around it. Then I just took a little poinsettia and put it here, and a Merry Christmas here with a little bow. I Wink Stella'd this because it was just too blah without it. On the back, I used this paper and put my information and did the gold around the whole thing. So that was my ATC. And then the first card, I took this paper, used it as a background, and made this card. So it's just a Christmas ornament, very clean and simple. It says Season's Greetings. 3 little pieces of bling up here. And yes, I've been making these cards for myself to send out, so this worked out perfectly, and this paper worked perfectly for a background. And the inside is just another strip of that paper with some of my gold strips that I have. And it says, enjoy the magic of the season. So that was card number 1 with these papers. And then this one is totally different, but I think came out really cute. And this is using this as a background. So this is it. It's my ugly sweater card. So I took a piece of blue and I embossed it. I have an ugly sweater embossing folder and I embossed it with that. So I don't know if you can pick that up at all. There's not that much showing, but it just added a little dimension to the card. And then I took this paper and used it as a background. I had this sweater in my stash, and it just matched the color on that paper perfectly. Perfectly! So I just put the sweater on, put a little bit of blue bling here, and just a little sentiment that says, let it snow. I thought that came out so cute. And inside it says, wishing you all the joys of the season, and a little piece of that embossed sweater paper that I had made. And that's what I did with the papers from Diane. And my last one is from Annie Creates. And these were Annie's papers, front and back, front and back, front and back. This probably turned out to be my favorite. I love them all, but I had a lot of fun making this. So I made the ATC with this paper. Yes, Orange Christmas. It's a new color. So this paper, if you can see it, it's really bright white with the orange. And I wasn't crazy about the bright white, so I took my Vintage Photo Distress Oxide ink and I just put it all over the paper. Tone it down a little bit. And this is my ATC. I took that paper, I embossed all the edges again in gold. I put a little strip of trim across here. Took a Prima flower that I thought matched pretty well with that paper and put that on there. And then I stamped Merry Christmas and threw some clear embossing powder over it, so it's embossed, but it's just ink embossed with clear embossing powder. And I thought that came out pretty cool. Different, but cute. And then this paper is on the back. All the edges embossed again, and it's got my information. So my ATC from Annie's. And then I used this paper as a background for this card, and I made this card. So I took some bright green, this is bright green, believe me, paper, and I embossed it with my snowflake embossing folder, to give it some dimension because it was way too plain otherwise. And again, this is a tag that I have. One thing I love to do, my favorite day to shop is the day after Christmas when everything goes on sale really, really cheap. And I go out and I buy tons of tags and wrapping paper and things like that. But tags come in so handy for cards. This one happens to be dimensional. I don't know if you can see it, but I thought it was really cute. And why not make a card with Santa, you know? So I just put that tag on there and put a little bit of bling around the edge. That's the ugly paper on the background. And on the inside it says Jingle All the Way. And a little Santa. A little piece of that paper again. So that's two. And my last one is my favorite card I made. I used this paper. That's it. So I think out of all of these papers, the only one I didn't use was the arrow and this. I used the other sides, but I didn't use those. But this is my last card. And I think this came out so pretty. So pretty. Love it. Love the ice skates. I put some diamond dust on the blades, and I put some Wink of Stella on the bow. Put a little piece of bling in the center, piece of ribbon with two different papers met, a little happy holiday up on dimensionals. I just love this card. I don't want to give it away. I don't have any more of these ice skates, so I just think it came out gorgeous. And on the inside I put a little stocking and a piece of the paper, and it says, "Wishing you all the joys of the season." And that's it. Those are my ugly papers, and those are what I made with them. I hope you like them. Tell me which one is your favorite. I'm curious. And that's it for now. Talk to you all soon. Love yous. Bye.